Hello, welcome back. Right, let's crack on with Chariot of the Dogs. So before I speak to Mama Bosco, I know what's going to happen, so let's do this first.
It printed a time card with a presidential seal and some strange numbers.
What was that?
We just needed to scan you for,
The hell you did! Explain yourselves.
You must be Mrs. Bosco.
That's Ms. Bosco. I don't want any part of your oppressive patriarchy.
Fair enough, ma'am. Miss, you.
Who are you?
Sam and Max, freelance police.
Finally, the police! Maybe you can help me catch that fool.
Which fool did you want us to catch exactly?
That man who just came in here yelling about conspiracies and busting up the place.
Bosco always did know how to make a memorable first impression.
Can you tell us more about the man who trashed your shop?
He took one look at me and screamed.
That should narrow the list of suspects down to any man with eyes.
Then he stumbled back and ran right into my baby maker.
Ouch!
Okay.
We can't take the case, but we'll keep an eye out for your vandal, Miss Bosco.
I swear if I ever find him, I'm gonna make sure he gets no pleasure in this life.
Ah, I haven't heard a tale of motherly love like that since the Manchurian Candidate.
We're here to help your son.
I don't have a son. You think it's not enough I'm a businesswoman and inventor? A woman's only useful if she's got a son.
It's not that. We're friends with him.
Well, acquaintances.
We know him.
We've spoken to him more than once.
Doesn't matter. I'm not defined by my children. But when I do have one, she's gonna be the most perfect little angel.
Here we go.
What was that you said about making a baby?
I'm made uncomfortable by this line of questioning, Sam.
That's just 'cause you're scared of a world where career-minded women don't need to be tied to a man to have a family. This ain't the past anymore. It's the 1960s. They can talk about putting a person on the moon, and I can invent a baby-making machine.
Well, how does this baby-making machine work?
You just take a DNA sample from the mother and the other person and combine them in that machine. Let it bake a couple hours and you've got a beautiful baby girl. Or boy, I guess. I've already got my own samples in there. I'm gonna test it out tonight after closing.
How do you get the DNA samples?
Isn't that obvious? Saliva, fools!
Well, naturally.
Oh, of course.
Where'd you get the father's sample?
Oh, him. Well, I was just in Washington, D.C. for a special occasion, and when I was touring the White House, I met a nice man in a dark suit. He was polite and didn't say much. Seemed like his spit was as good as anybody else's, so I picked him.
Where'd you get the father's sample?
Oh, him. Well, I was just in Washington, D.C. for a special occasion, and when I was touring the White House, I met a nice man in a dark suit. He was polite and didn't...
Oops. I thought that led on to a certain line of questioning, but I'm guessing it's this one.
See you later, Miss Bosco.
We're gonna pick up some swinging 60s chicks and start a groovy hullabaloo.
Men.
Cut it out, Max. You don't even like girls.
Oh, right.
You got a problem with women?
Nah, just never interested. With all the general malice I have to get done in a day, girls are just a huge waste of time.
I have never been as turned on as I am right now.
What?
You just never found the right woman, and I never found the right man. Forget the baby maker.
Catastrophic temporal anomaly detected.
Run away with me, Max, my white stallion.
Curse my irresistible animal magnetism. I'm a bad seed. I can't be faithful to just one woman.
Oh, I'm enough for at least a dozen women. You dog, you.
We're from different worlds. I'm from Earth, and you're from the freakiest planet of the freak system.
Opposites attract, baby. You're the only man not falling over himself to get me.
We're from different worlds.
You...
I'm president of the U.S., and you'd make a lousy first lady.
You just don't know what you want. I may not be the first, but I'm the last lady you'll ever need.
I'm married to my career.
They had the ceremony in Canada because it's legal there.
All those excuses you keep making just prove you need me.
Just looking at you repulses me.
And that's from a guy who has a 12-volume scrapbook labeled Things I Have Shed.
You can try to push me away, but I know how you really feel.
Oh my word.
I think I'd rather take napalm and an IV drip while being pulled through a wheat thresher than spend another second with you.
You can't get rid of me that easy.
Look, lady, you just don't get it. I'm just not into you.
Keep on protesting. It just makes me know you're the one.
About you and Max.
You mean the future Mr. Bosco?
Miss Bosco, I really think you should reconsider.
I can already see us. Living next door to that nice detective.
Well, it would be nice having someone to do my laundry.
You don't even wear clothes.
And yet I always end up with so many blood-stained shirts. 'Tis a mystery.
Think of your children. What about that?
I won't need kids once I have the love of my Max. He'll be my new little pet project.
Max just isn't that into you.
Oh, geez, Sam, show a little tact. What he means to say is, there is absolutely no way, no how I would ever be interested in you until the day the Earth is consumed by the flames of our exploding sun.
You say that now.
Max is belligerent, recalcitrant, and quite possibly psychotic.
So you're jealous, is that it? Want to keep him all to yourself?
I never knew you felt this way, Sam.
Temporal anomaly detected.
Shut up! It's not like that. Max doesn't even like girls.
They're a nuisance at best.
Hasn't been interested since... When did that start exactly?
I think it all goes back to that time we were... No flashback? Okay. Well, it's been ever since junior high.
Max is no good for you.
Oh, I can fix him.
You're wasting your time, Miss Bosco. Max just isn't interested.
The more he protests, the more I know he's the one.
It printed a time card with Stinky's logo on it. It printed out a card with the Intergalactic Freelance Police logo. Sounds intriguingly futuristic.
What do you think you're doing?
You know, the usual. Traveling through time and stuff.
Override. You've caused a catastrophic temporal anomaly. You're going back to the ship so you can think about what you've done. Just look at what you did.
Sam, what's a catastrophic temporal paradox?
That!
What the hell did you guys do?
Max, when you made Mama Bosco decide not to have a baby, that meant Bosco was never born.
But if Bosco was never born, then we never would have gone back to meet Mama Bosco in the first place. Neat!
Are you fools just gonna stand there explaining everything, or are you gonna fix me?
Sheesh! Give a guy a cool cow body, and all of a sudden he's the owner of the time stream.
Oh dear.
Did you miss us?
What have you two been doing all this time?
Hanging out with your mom.
Real classy guys. Fine. Don't help me.
Can you describe your father for us?
Man, I thought you guys were detectives. Haven't you figured out I was a test tube baby? My mama didn't need a man. I got everything from her.
Where'd you get your paranoid fear of giant invisible conspiracies out to kill you?
That's a chemical imbalance that's all mine.
Feeling better, Bosco?
I don't know you guys. I still feel kinda distant. What did you guys do?
We kind of made it so that you've never been born. Whoops.
But being born is one of the greatest things I ever did. Fix it, you fools!
Existence isn't something you can just ask for, Bosco. You've got to earn it.
How's life as a paradox treating you, Bosco?
It sucks, man. I want to exist all the way again. Do something!
Are you sure you can't give us any leads on your father?
Mama mentioned once she met him at the White House.
We're on the case, Bosco.
We've got to go break up with your mother.
I told you guys, cut it out!
So, where to first? Stinky's.
What do you two want?
It's the one true Stinky.
Are we glad to see you?
Why?
Still, it's a new person to talk to.
Look, Sam, it's us as impressionable preteens.
Exceedingly well done!
Not so much to explore in this old version of Stinky's.
F+. I'm not sure if that's failing well or failing poorly. Looks like Girl Stinky was telling the truth for once. The gooey molasses tar cake really is an old family recipe. It couldn't hurt to take just a sample. We should have those results for you in about a week, Mr. Cake.
Now, turn your head and cough.
Hi, Stinky.
Are you the parents of those two parasites?
Well, not exactly.
Although we do still have a time machine, so I wouldn't completely rule out the possibility.
That's gross, Max.
I'm just saying.
We bring a warning from the future.
In about 25 years, you're going to be murdered.
Murdered my swollen pancreas. I once wrestled 4 rabid grizzlies while standing on the back of a rutting alligator while being pelted with Karari-tipped darts and fighting off a case of irritable bowel syndrome. I'd like to meet the man who could murder old Stinky.
Hi, I'm Max.
Honest, Stinky, we're detectives, and we've seen all the evidence. You're gonna get offed.
When? How? And who's going to do it?
Well, we don't know exactly.
Detectives is really more of a catch-all term for guys with guns.
Some woman claiming to be your granddaughter has taken over your restaurant.
Granddaughter my cleft palate. I never had any children.
Really? A cantankerous, misanthropic, hairy old cuss like you would be great with kids.
Perhaps. Someday.
Yeah, I don't want to rush you, Stinky, but if you're planning kids, you're gonna have to get on that pretty quick.
We're from the Public Health Board.
Almost none of the vermin in this establishment are wearing federally approved hairnets.
Government types. Pah! Weak and pathetic, the lot of ye. You can't even begin to comprehend what I'm doing here. My dishes will challenge the weak and weed out the inferiors like you jelly-jawed lip-flappers. Only the strongest will survive. It will be glorious!
So, are you going to show us to our table, or what?
How are the 80s treating you, Stinky?
What are you two still doing here? No animals allowed in my diner.
It's okay, we're service animals.
Could we be seated already?
No shirt, no shoes, no service.
We're being discriminated against, Sam.
We want to order something.
Too bad.
We'll take a pan-fried red panda with... What?
Can't you see? I'm so close to perfecting my gooey molasses tar cake. I can't be arsed to cook for you hooligans when I got so much cooking to do.
What's a gooey molasses tar cake?
It's based on my ancient family recipe. But my proud, knuckle-dragging forefathers never thought to use my secret ingredient.
The blood of innocence!
Nutmeg.
You're both wrong, and you're both stupid. It's the one thing no one has ever thought to use before.
I'll test your tar cake for you, Stinky.
Sam can and will eat anything.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? To just waltz into a restaurant and order something to eat. You're just trying to find out my secret ingredient. Well, you won't, because it's the one thing no one has ever thought to use.
Thanks for the chat, Stinky.
Just go away and die.
But most of all, thanks for just being you.
So he was a pleasant person.
Another satisfied customer. Check this out. It's from 1963, and it's signed by the President. My dearest Maxine, meet me tonight at Stinky's. Wear that dress I like, the one where I can see your... Holy... I didn't think they knew that word back then.
The president's wife wasn't named Maxine.
What is this, the Temperance League? Lighten up!
Looks like this case has a screw loose. There's just the one song. As Stinky would say, if you don't like it, go deaf. Can I borrow that screwdriver? Well, as long as you promise to bring it back. I hate to think what would happen if I had to stop working on computers. Sure thing, kid.
Well, that puzzle was pretty easy to solve.
Max, distract Stinky for me.
Oh my God! Look, Stinky!
Yeah, what?
Somebody's trying to break into your display case!
Real smooth, little buddy.
And there's Bluster Blaster.
I knew Girl Stinky didn't really salvage this from the Titanic Part 2. It's our old pal, Bluster Blaster.
Wait your turn!
Hey, little guy. What are you scamps up to?
I'm only playing Bluster Blaster, the newest and best video game ever made, duh!
Nice try!
Shouldn't you kids be doing something constructive? Or at least less nerdy?
Today I get to do anything I want.
You do anything you want every day, Max.
You're the best!
Why don't you kids go outside and play?
Why would I go outside when my best friend's in here?
Gee, Max.
Oh yeah, Sam's here too.
You're radical!
What's so great about this video game?
Are you kidding? This game is the only thing that really understands me.
You rock hard!
See what I mean?
Wouldn't it be healthier to get your validation from other people?
People are dumb and they just don't get me.
You're the greatest!
See, it's like the game knows what I'm thinking.
Playing that game so much is unhealthy, little guy.
You're awesome!
Unhealthy to hear the truth? I don't think so.
I vaguely remember something very important about this day. What was it?
There was my party? Duh!
Don't forget that prom and after-prom kissing retreat tonight, Max.
Boring!
Great job! You're getting better!
That prom sounds like a fun and informative time for a young person. Why aren't you there?
Couldn't you get a date? Loser! You're the loser, loser! No, you are! Jenny Tallarico asked me to go, but I turned her down. She just doesn't get me like Bluster Blaster does.
Great move! You almost dodged it!
Wasn't Jenny Tallarico the girl who had a crush on you for years, Max?
I don't know. I never noticed. They call her Jenny Tungarico, 'cause she'll kiss anybody and she uses her whole mouth! Grody! Ugh, grody!
There's lots of neat stuff about girls. You'll realize once you take that first step to adulthood.
Why bother? I've got everything I need right here.
You're the best!
Just say no, little buddy.
Word up!
Hey, champ, what are you working on? I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
But we're strangers who have candy and cool guns you can play with.
Well, that should be okay. I'm working on my new arcade game, Bluster Blaster. What are you doing with Bluster Blaster? I built him from a kit. Now I'm just working on the AI.
Now I remember! You used to be a total nerd, Sam! Funny, though. All this time we've spent talking to the cops, and you never once mentioned you're the guy who built Bluster Blaster.
Just never seemed relevant, I guess. What's wrong with the video game? It's fine, I guess. But with only a 1 megahertz processor and this 8-bit I.O. adapter, the AI doesn't get enough cycles to... Can the dork lingo, Chubbs. Just give me the recap. It'd be easy enough to download a new AI, but I haven't found one that's any good. Shouldn't you kids be outside playing or dating or whatnot? Outside? It's 8 o'clock at night.
When I was your age, I would have set fire to at least 4 different categories of things by this hour.
Nuh-uh. You would have been playing that video game all day, just like he is.
Don't you sass me, boy! You're lucky that you grew up to be the only one who knows how to use the time machine, kid.
Aren't you worried you're turning into something of a,
Dweeb? Doofus? Dorkwad?
Who cares? I don't need you guys or anybody else. Max never calls me names.
That's right, Poindexter.
Good shot!
Wouldn't you rather grow up to be as cool as I am? With a boss car and a detective job and a huge gun? Would I have to be as fat as you too?
Temporal anomaly detected.
You got lucky, punk. There's got to be something more constructive to do than work on this game all night. Well, there is that prom at the school tonight. This year's theme is Summer of Awakening Desire. Lame.
Lame.
Well said!
A smooth kid like you must have dozens of girls wanting to go to the prom with you.
Don't lie to the boy, Sam.
Nah, all the girls are into Max because he's mean to them. And also he doesn't complain when they dress him up in their doll clothes.
Ah, the precious memories.
Let's stick to one neurosis at a time, Max. Don't you want to get out and meet more sexy young people your age? Yeah, who's got time for that? My video game is so close to perfect.
You're amazing!
Oh, Bluster Blaster, you know me too well.
Sexy young people, eh? Right, I think it's time to end this conversation.
Make good choices, son. Didn't you guys say I could play with your guns? We lied, kid.
Remember this. It's a good life lesson.
I don't remember us being such socially maladjusted nerds in our youth.
Socially maladjusted what? We were kings of the arcade!
Keep shooting for the stars, Max. I wonder how things would have been different if we dated more in school, or dated at all.
Women come and go, Sam. A high score lasts forever.
Bluster Blaster was a lot more polite and encouraging way back when. I wonder what got into him.
He wised up and saw that nice is boring. You gotta have edge, or you get crushed along with all the other pillbugs.
You're embarrassing when you try to act cynical, Max. Bluster Blaster was a lot more polite and encouraging way back when. I wonder what got into him.
He wised up and saw that other...
You're embarrassing.
Oops.
Remember all those wild and wacky trends and events from the 80s, Max?
Do I? What was the deal with those jodhpurs and powdered wigs we all wore?
The Louisiana Purchase. What were we thinking?
Cotton gins? I mean, really.
Fellini's Satyricon became the voice of a generation.
The Smoot Holly Terrifact. Crazy!
Wow, we're not very good at this nostalgia business, are we?
It may not seem like that now.
Smell you later, homeboy.
Totally.
I already scanned Max with this thing. That's how we got here.
Okay.
Weird, it doesn't work on him for some incomprehensible reason we don't care enough about to pursue further.
Good. Keep your fancy gewgaws and who's your what's-its away from me.
Sam. More visitors.
I don't know how to use a light bulb with that.
There, Sam.
Okay.
Not much use for this anymore. Their appeal is timeless. With this bad boy, we'll never need another file cabinet. The bulletin board's all wet and ruined. We must get careless in the future.
Who cares?
Looks like we kept Bosco's model volcano after all these years.
Blowing things up for science will never go out of style.
Whoa! I hate pack rats. Guess we couldn't afford 2 tape drives. Hiya, Future Max.
Oh, hey guys! Look, Sam, more visitors for your special day. Comically backwards past versions of ourselves.
Nah, I want to keep these shoestrings.
That's nice, Sam.
The future is a baffling potpourri of peculiar sights and odors.
Yes, our advanced world must be frightening and confusing to you. I'll try to speak slowly so that your 21st century brains can understand.
So much in the office has changed.
Oh, the wonders I could show the two of you if I wasn't afraid of violating the time stream. Yeah, the time stream's asking for it. Well, okay. In the future, we can make phone calls to other people even when we're not at home. My God! And our cars now have additional brake lights above the rear seats.
What about robots? Do we have robot slaves in the future?
With lasers? Oh, you uncultivated savages. Robots are used for controlling our spaceships these days. Surely you've heard of the Maintron 28,000 line? Well, of course! Right, Sam?
Everybody's heard of that. I can't shoot, Max! You must have been having a ton of exciting future adventures in space.
No, we don't take that many cases anymore. We try to stay mostly around this street and the neighboring shops. Still?
If you're not taking cases, what do you guys do?
I've become an expert in volcanology, and Sam is... well, Sam is in his own world now.
Great transmogrifying vapor wolves of Rigel 17. Booster rocket through the Van Allen belt. I'm in my office. What's wrong with the other me?
Oh, he's fine. Mostly. The years add up, though.
It's lint from my pocket. This should be useful later. Do you remember how we cured Bosco of his parentage problems?
Bosco. Oh, he's the guy who invented Skynet, isn't he? No. I was hoping I'd be the one who did that. I don't remember much about that case. Something about spit, wasn't it?
I'm glad to see the old freelance police are still in business.
Yes, dear stupid past Sam. But of course, now we're a wholly owned subsidiary of Stinky Corp.
What's Stinky Corp?
Get a load of this, Sam. These yokels have never heard of Stinky Corp.
I don't feel like playing darts right now.
Yes. Well, anyway, Stinky Corp is the mega corporation that owns everything in the future. Stinky made enough money from her diner to take over the world? No, cretinous Max. From her super adhesive.
What's this about Stinky super adhesive?
It revolutionized the whole galaxy. Now it's used for everything from scrapbooking to alien spacecraft. She's claimed in interviews that it was based on an old family formula. But Sam and I think we figured out the real secret. It's made from mole men.
Be seeing ya.
So long! That's how we say goodbye in the future.
Right. I'm going to leave it here. And when I return, we'll be doing some more things. Anyway, thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.